Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, peoples of the YouTubeverse? I am back once again. I walked right in front of the camera a weird way. I do apologize, but alright. So, Dirty Tank, why am I showing this right now? Well, some fun stuff's been happening with it. This tank's been up for about a year and a half, to be completely real and honest. And when I'm always looking here at this tank, a lot of cool things are always happening with it. So, I've had comments in the past about check your nitrates, check your nitrites. Is your fish tank healthy? That looks dirty. This is what nature does at their natural waters. If you were to take a cube of water from a lake or pond, it will look a lot like this. Exactly like this? No. There's not going to, hopefully, not be. Well, there actually might be the way the pollution be, but there wouldn't be any plastic hammocks like you see right there to the right, like that guy right there. Yes, that's the only unnatural thing in the tank. Every other plants and shadow of like something there is a piece of mopani wood or a rock or something like that. And this tank has gone through a lot. It had to be a quick change, had to do from a 20 to a 30 very quickly and unexpectedly. And all these fish that have been added, these are all fish added to this tank. A lot of the fish that were there beforehand have passed away from older age because they came from a 10 gallon to a 20 gallon to this size. So I thought it would be fun to talk, chat, and just say stuff while showing y'all what I see on the day to day. Also, I'm going to show y'all a fun little way I like to scrape my tank. And y'all don't need to buy anything expensive for it either. All you really need, I always tell people, one of these like plastic spackle things, man. Unused. Do not use it for spackling and then use it on your fish tank. Please don't do that. That's terrible. Use straight from the store something like this and wash it. Make sure you get whatever debris off of it or whatever, because you don't know what's in a hardware store compared to a pet store. But if you're looking carefully, you see some spots on this tank. And again, I did a short earlier about this guy. This is water lily, this plant right there. I'm trying not to do too much to it. This thing right here is water lily. And it's got the roots and everything. Bulbs with plants are amazing because bulbs can handle cycles and just stay dormant until the conditions are right again. I did have, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bunch of tiny ones of these dudes here, but some Malaysian trumpet snail invasion. And because these guys dig like they do, I had a layer of sand over a layer of substrate. Now it's all mixed together. Substrate's top layer, sand is bottom layer, and a top layer at the same time. Everything's mixed together, man. Everything got just churned and done burned in the most part. I did have a lot more rooted plants. You can go back to like a year ago when this tank was first really like getting their plants set and whatnot. It went through a lot of bacterial blooms and stuff. But in all realness, the stuff that this tank has done, where it went to, I always add tannins into my tanks. The type of fish that I keep kind of rely on tannins more so than not, So I like to do that. I keep a lot of live bearers, bottom dwellers, and betta fish. And they are used to tannins. They're used to still, calm waters, which is why this tank doesn't have a filter at all. The filters are these plants and stuff. And it's a natural filter that nature has developed for millions and millions of years on this planet and perfected in a way. So you want to use a plastic straight edge when you're cleaning your tank up and getting the algae off what I would usually say the viewing side. If I'm going to be completely real and completely honest, some people will not like what I say here. Some people will be like, all right, that makes sense. But algae is totally chill in the tank. It's actually good to have to some degree in the tank. I would say just keep the viewing glass clean, the front spot or whatever, wherever you got the tank at that you want people to see, keep that clear, keep that clean. But the rest of it, it's actually totally legit okay to have algae in your tank. to some degree. More specifically, the algae that grows on the glass is going to be safe. String algae will overtake and destroy plants. Whitebeard algae and blackbeard algae will choke out rooted plants as well. Normally, you'll see those collecting on wood pieces. So if you get Wapani wood or driftwood and you put it in your tank, that's how I usually see whitebeard or blackbeard algae develop. And how I normally got rid of that, man, I just use Shrimp Squad. Some ghost shrimp or some Amano shrimp, they are just good at that. If you can't find that, believe it or not, mollies are amazing at eating blackbeard algae. They love that stuff. They eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast. Yeah. Let me retry that sentence right quick. They eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner without remorse, and they don't care. So mollies and platies, they are a bit more omnivorous, but because they are small and normally preyed upon, they don't get the chance to eat as much fish matter as they would like. They normally will eat more microspecies and stuff, but even then, I mean, they're not necessarily super duper focused on trying to catch fish. They will eat plant matter and algae and stuff as well, only because of survival. Jolteon fell over. No. There you go, buddy. Right back up on track. I don't know if y'all see them little figurines down there. I have a lot of old Tomy figures and toys from back in the 90s and early 2000s. I used to have way more. That's a situation that I was forced to sell those things in a sense, and I am still not happy about that, to be real with you, but in the long run, what's happened, it reminded me that material things, though as much as we might love them, they can be taken. You would have to get, sometimes get rid of them like I did, or, like with the way that nature has been last year with the floods and fires, even if you had all your stuff, nature could have straight up taken your stuff. So material things are temporary, man. So love it while you can and hold on to what you got when you got it. So a lot of these toys, like this Millennium Falcon figure, man, that came from my dad or my uncle. It was their toy when they were a kid. That thing is old. That's like a 70s toy right here. This thing is made of metal too, dude. Now it's got broken gun pieces and stuff, so it's nothing worth anything. But I keep it just because it's cool. But you can see what I'm doing here. And as I'm doing this, you can see all this sediment, man. What these snails did when they invaded the tank. What they did come in on, as I went to a store and I got some frog bit. And the frog bit did have snails in the tank. And I looked at it and thought, maybe I should put this frog bit in a separate thing for a bit. But it is floating, so I don't think there's going to be much to worry about. And then sure enough, I was proven oh so wrong once again by nature. Nature said, oh, you think you got me, huh? And then what did nature do? Show me up. And yeah, this is why. So that's how I kind of scrape my glass. I turn my bubblers off, I take the lid off, roll my sleeves up, and get to it. Now I am ambidextrous, so you saw me use my left hand, but I'm not necessarily left-handed fully either. I just use whatever hand's convenient, and thankfully I can use both in unison, which is something that not everyone can do, and I'm thankful I got that skill, because it does help with tank cleaning, because when you're trying to clean, can you imagine if you go right to the end here and you're trying to scrub and you hit your elbow in that corner and everything, just, nah, man, not about that life. I don't want to be hitting no elbows against no corners, man. But this is the natural, and you can see they're so healthy, they're moving around. It is dirty, yes. But is it unhealthy? From my study, absolutely not. So, with that, I'm going to zoom in real quick. I'm going to take it down a notch and just try and zoom in on those, because these are neons. I thought they needed more clear waters and stuff, but they do really good with this water too. These were adopted, they were brought in. A customer said that he couldn't keep them anymore. They had to move long ways, and he had to just drain his tanks and take it with them because that was just the easiest thing to do. He felt really bad about it and everything. You can tell when someone's bringing fish in just to get rid of them, and when they're bringing fish in because they're in a situation. This man was in a situation. So he was very thankful. And if he does somehow magically see this video, homie G, your fish are doing good. They are so fun. You've done such a good job taking care of them. Thank you for being one of them customers who care about their animals, because it does show with how well they're doing in this tank. And with that, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTuberverse, that is all for this fun little video, this is my tank update, a little way to show you guys how I scrape out my tank, and maybe some fun facts about me you may not have known, who knows. I do have more work to do with this, of course. This is not the end, but most of this, it's hard to video and focus on animal stuff at the same time. So with that, I'm so thankful that y'all have been enjoying this. I'm so thankful that y'all have been subscribing, commenting, and liking. I am just super grateful, super humbled. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, for real, peace out. Y'all have a good one.